Namaste everyone, welcome to Sarthak Tidbits. Today we are going to learn about states of matter. Now matter is divided into three types: solids, liquids and gases. In this chapter we are going to learn about gases because solids and liquids will be discussed in chemistry and physics respectively later. Now in gases today we are going to learn about gas laws. The first thing is Boyle's law. Now what does Boyle's law says? Boyle's law says that at constant temperature, pressure and volume are inversely related. And this happens at constant number of moles also. Number of moles. Now this one we can write it as P is inversely proportional to 1 by V. Now P is inversely proportional to V or PV is equals to constant. From here we can say that P1 V1 equals P2 V2. Here P1 V1 is initial pressure and final volume. Initial pressure and final is basically pressure at one time and volume at one time equals to pressure at second time into volume at second time. Boyle's law is also known as Boyle's law of isotherm. What do you mean by isotherm? Isotherm is basically graph of P or V against temperature. The graph looks like this. P, T, P or V, anything you can keep, the graph would be same. It would be like this. This is known as an isothermic graph. Now, what happens if we plot a graph against pressure and volume? Well, we'll get a rectangular hyperbola. Look something like this. This is P versus V graph. Why is this a hyperbola? Because equation for a hyperbola is xy equals to c square. Xy equals to c square is the equation for a rectangular hyperbola. Now here x and y are basically P and V. Why? Because c is basically a constant. Here pressure is in x-axis and volume is in y-axis, so PV constant, xy c square. Now now a small question. Here, if I draw multiple rectangular hyperbola at different temperatures, like let me draw 3. Assume that in T1 this graph occurs, and at T2 this curve, and at T3 this curve. Now, which temperature is the greatest and at which temperature pressure is greatest and at which temperature pressure is least? Well, if you want time to think about it, you can. I'm giving you 3 seconds to pause the video. 3, 2, 1. Yeah. Now, here first, let's go step by step. Like, see, at the peak points, draw like this first. Now let this be origin O, and let this distance from origin to here, let this be x1. And from this point x1 to here, let this be x2, and from here to this, let this be x3. Now I'm erasing this graph. Now you know from point O, from origin to x3, origin to x3 is greater. Distance between origin to x3 is greater than distance between origin to x2 is greater than distance between origin to x1. Yeah, we can say this. Now from this we can say that x1 pressure is greater than x2 pressure is greater than x3. Now what is x1? x1 is for T1, so T1 is greater than T2 is greater than T3. Thank you everyone. Have a nice day.